Dave Castro's YouTube channel has revealed who's going to win this year's CrossFit Games, and it turns out that it's not even going to be close. It's Daniel Brandon, and it's by a landslide. In this video, we're going to blow the doors over the fact that Dave Castro, through his YouTube channel, has inadvertently leaked who's going to win the men's and the women's 2024 CrossFit Games. And let me tell you, the results will shock you. We have, from Dave himself, a full rundown of each and every finishing position on both the men's and the women's side. So let's begin by looking at all of the names of those who will not even make it past Chad on Saturday morning. On the men's side, we have in 39th place, Kalyan Souza. 38th place, we've got Arthur Semenov. And 37th, we've got the Manc Spaniard Callum Clements. 36th place, we've got Henrik Haapalainen. 35th, we've got Alex Caron. Then we've got Peter Ellis, Bruno Marins, Cole Grey-Sheba, and the last man missing out on progressing any further is Luka Dukic. Over on the women's side, I am sad to say that last of all athletes is going to be Doan Jong, or as we know her affectionately, the Korean John Young. Caroline Stanley is going to be 39th, Seong Yang is going to be 38th, Karin Freyova is going to be 37th, Gemma Rada is going to be 36th, Julia Cato 35th, Lexi Neal, Paige Semenza, Andrea Pinheiro and Elisa Foliano in 31st place. But the cuts don't stop there. After that first cut, following Chad, there's going to be another cut a little bit later on Saturday afternoon. So let's keep the ball rolling. Who are going to be the next ones who do not get to go back to the Coliseum, the Crucible on Saturday evening? On the men's side, it's the best of the British. In 30th place, Harry Lightfoot. In 29th, Enola Kai. In 28th, Juan Potageta. In 27th, Chris Ibarra. In 26th, Moritz Feiberg. In 25th, Bailey Martin, Victor Hoffer, Samuel Cornier, Lazar Dukic, and just missing out on finishing the whole weekend, washed up CrossFit Games athlete Brandon Luckett. On the women's side, we're going to see Claudia Gluck in 30th, Saya Kea in 29th, Victoria Campos in 28th, Shelby Neal in 27th, Daisy McDonald, Chloe Gavin David, Emma Tall, Heidi Kenyo, Lindsay Kiesman, and last but not least, in 21st place, Emma McQuaid. Now, of course, everyone who makes it past Saturday evening is going to complete the entire weekend, and this is how Dave Castro's YouTube channel says that the men and the women are going to shake out. In 20th place, Austin Hatfield. In 19th place, Jay Crouch. In 18th place, Jelly Hosted, Samuel Quant, Cole Sager, BKG, Saxon Panchik, Jack Rosimer, James Spraggy, and in 11th place, Luke Parker. On the women's side, we've got Maddie Strutt, Georgia Pryor, Jacqueline Dahlstrom, Kyra Milligan, Abigail Dumat, Grace Walton, Emily Rolfe, Amy Kringle, Alex Kazan, and narrowly missing out on a top 10 place once again, Bethany Flores. Okay, so it's time to look at the top 10 men and women as revealed by Dave Castro on his YouTube channel. In 10th place, we're going to have man, Dallin Pepper, female, Alexis Raptis. In 9th place, Travis Mayer, female, Gabriela Magala. In 8th place, Jason Hopper, Ariel Lowen. 7th, Roman Karenikov, Danny Spiegel. 6th, Ricky Garrard and Brooke Wells. 5th, believe it or not, last year's champions, Jeff Adler and Laura Hovar. And in 4th place, Guy Malheiros and Emma Lawson. Now, if you've been keeping amazingly close attention, you will know the athletes not mentioned yet must be on the podiums making up each side. So let's hear it for our bronze place finishers, Justin Medeiros and Haley Adams. And in second place, narrowly missing out on glory and the title of fittest on earth, Brent Fikowski and Tia Claire Tumio, which means we've got a brand new fittest men and women on earth, and they are Patrick Vellner and Daniel Brandon. Okay, time to come clean. This video and these rankings were inspired by Andrew Hiller and his annual athlete rankings that are determined by their Instagram followers, which always produces a fun little list. But this list is legitimately from Dave Castro's YouTube channel, and it's compiled using the viewing figures that each athlete got on the series of interviews that he did with every single qualifying individual in the last month or so in the run-up to the Games. So this is the thinking, that we should probably be most interested in the athletes who will do best at the Games, or athletes who have previously proven themselves in past CrossFit Games. And if we're more interested in them, that will reflect in the number of views that each of their interviews got when their name went in the title. And so here is the full list and all of the views that each and every one of these male and female 79 athletes got over on Dave's channel. And now obviously this isn't a sensible way of predicting how the podium or the top 10 will look come the end of Sunday, and yet, with a few minor exceptions, that the top 10s at least are essentially who you'd expect to see at the front of the back when all is said and done. Now you'll notice that both Daniel Brandon and Uncle Pat stand head and shoulders above their opponents. DB is a full 10,000 views more than second place Tia Claire Toomey, and 15,000 more than third place Hayley Adams, while the Ghost has 8,000 more than Brent and Justin in third. Now, I would say that there are some noticeable losers in each of these results, people whose placings here and the views that they've got really won't tally with where we can expect them to finish up. I think Henrik Haapalainen is out of place. His consistency over the years at the Games, it would be unbelievable if he missed that first cut. Bailey Martin is very low on this list. He was there or thereabouts last year in his rookie year, so one can only assume that he's not going to drop that much. Perennial top 10 athlete Lazar Dukic is way below on this list than you will see him come Sunday this week, coming weekend. And Jay Crouch, for my money, the best smile in all of CrossFit. There is no way he is finishing that low. Over on the women's side, Karen Freyover, I'd be very surprised if she missed out. If she was first cut, if she was cut at all and didn't make the top 20. Paige Semenza, so much for CrossFit's own This Is One to Watch. Again, it would be almost unthinkable that she would finish in that cut. Emma Toll, normally, has proven herself to be a far better athlete, and there is no chance, unless E. coli strikes and shoe malfunctions persist, that Alex Gazan is missing out on the top 10, let alone missing out on the podium. And of course, for every loser, there is a winner, and I'd suggest these names are the biggest winners on this list. Patrick Vellner, well, we sort of expect him to finish there or thereabouts, top 5 maybe on the podium, but wouldn't it be wonderful if Uncle Pat finally stood on the top step? Travis Mayer, back in the top 10 after a year off because of injury. I mean, I can sort of see it happening. He's an absolute beast. He's a veteran of the sport, but the men's field is really, really strong. So for him to get into that top 10 is going to be an incredible shift. And Luke Parker. Nothing against Luke Parker. Here we've got him finishing 11th. And, well, I just think that's generous. On the women's side, of course, I don't think any of us expect Daniel Brandon to beat Laura, Tia, Emma, Ariel, Alex. But here she is, head and shoulders above all of the others. Another biggest winner would be Dani Spiegel. Dani Spiegel has plenty of strings to her bow, but perhaps maybe with all of the running in the first couple of events that have been announced, this isn't going to be Dani's Games, and I'd be amazed if she made it to the last 20, let alone finishing up in the top 10. And also, for my money, Gracie Walton finishes extremely high here. Grace has done very well in the Open this year, but I think she is probably more popular than her performances have ever led us to think that she will finish this high as a rookie at the Games. I don't see it happening. So what do you think of these results? What do you think of Dave Castro leaking the positions, the final standings for the CrossFit Games? How much do you think that these are going to match up with where people do actually end up on Sunday evening? I think it's going to be fun when all is said and done, when the dust has settled, is to come back to this list, lay it side by side with where people end up finishing, and then see who the biggest winners and losers are. But just remember that as we get into the festivities of the CrossFit Games, you're allowed to pop a top, even if you're just watching at home on the sofa. Peace.